Hello.
Hello.
Right, okay. Well, that went quite smoothly. That's good. Just a minute. Good afternoon and welcome to episode 6 of Ask Angelika with Angelika Davey. Good afternoon, Angelika.
Good afternoon, Stephen.
It's good to see you. Now, you have a question today and you're going to have to read it yourself. So please do.
It was a question that Hassan asked in our Facebook group, Ask Angelika. And he mentioned that he often has problems with the prepositions zu and nach, meaning to when you're talking about that you're going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, oh, well, I would cover that today. Basically, you use nach when you're talking about countries and towns. So, for example, ich fahre nach Deutschland, ich gehe nach Swindon. Basically, anything you don't use a gender. And we don't say, I'm going to the England. We're just saying, I'm going to England. So therefore, we would use, ich fahre nach England. Having said that, there is one slight exception because there are the odd one or two countries which have got a gender. So if you wanted to go to Switzerland, which is die Schweiz, you cannot say ich fahre nach Schweiz or ich fahre nach die Schweiz or something like this. That doesn't work. So nach is really only used without a gender. So in that case, with Switzerland, we would need to say ich fahre in die Schweiz. So that's the bit about nach. So it's actually nice and easy because you just use it mainly with countries and towns. Zu is used when you want to use it with a place where you normally use a gender. So I'm going to the supermarket. Yeah, we don't say I'm going to supermarket. We're saying I'm going to the supermarket. Of course, then you'll have to remember that zu is a preposition which is always followed by the dative. So if the was der, as it would be in supermarket, der Supermarkt, changes to dem. So that would make it, ich gehe zu dem Supermarkt, and we actually don't say that because although German has often longer words, we are just as lazy as English people and like to shorten things as much as we can. So we rarely say zu dem, we say zum. So ich gehe zum Supermarkt. If we're going to a place which is neuter, Kino, das Kino. Ich gehe zum Kino. And if it's a feminine one, let's go to the pub, die Kneipe, then it's zu der, and that gets shortened to zur. So ich gehe zur Kneipe. Now those, the zum and zur always means to the. So where in English you would say, I'm going to the, whatever the place is called, then you need either zum if it's a masculine noun or a neuter noun, or zur if it's a feminine noun. We can also use zu on its own if we're talking about names or pronouns. So although I just said, ich gehe zum Supermarkt, yeah, because I'm saying I'm going to the supermarket. If I'm actually talking about a particular supermarket, say I'm going to Lidl's, yeah, and I don't want to say I'm going to the supermarket Lidl's because everybody knows it's a supermarket, then I can just use zu. Ich gehe zu Lidl.
Ich gehe zu Marks and Spencer.
Ich gehe zu Marks and Spencer's, ich gehe zu Tesco's, ich gehe zu Sainsbury's. Oh, we better stop now, otherwise we're advertising for all the English supermarket. Ich gehe zu whichever supermarket name you want to add in there, you can use it. Yeah, if you're just saying I'm going to the supermarket, then it's to the supermarket. Ich gehe zum. And if you're driving to a country, then it's nach. Ich fahre nach Deutschland. Ich fliege nach Amerika. Ich fahre nach Swindon.
Would ich fliege nach Amsterdam work?
That would work as well, especially when you're actually on the plane to Amsterdam. Yes, ich fliege nach Amsterdam. If you wanted to say you're flying to the airport, then it would be ich fliege zum Flughafen. If you just, well, but then again, you're always flying to an airport anyway, so that's probably a silly sentence. It would be a bit dangerous if we didn't fly to an airport.
True, true.
Right. Yeah.
So that's NACH and and the use thereof. Now, you have a book out at the moment, don't you? Shall we talk a little bit about that?
We can talk about the book because I've now got a proper copy in my hand. Do you remember 2 weeks ago when we spoke about it, you got the Amazon link up because I didn't actually have the book yet. And now I have got it because this is one of the few books where a Kindle version wouldn't make any sense.
Okay.
Because it hasn't got, it's empty. Or almost empty.
Yeah.
There's just very little writing in there because it's a planner diary. And last week we briefly spoke about it. Now I can actually show you a little bit more in detail what it has got. For anybody who wanted to, as I said before, this is undated. So any dates you would need to write in yourself. But the first, after a bit of an introduction, there are 4 pages, which is just a monthly planner. So you can actually just write down the months. I've given you space there. So you may want to start with January, February and that, or whenever you're getting the book. And that's for anybody who wants to plan their own German learning a bit. So if you're learning with a tutor or a book, then it's probably not really much use because then you're just writing in there chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. But you may still want to write in, well, actually, in January, I would like to do a little bit of extra work. Maybe this month I'm going to watch as many YouTube videos as I can, or I do a bit more on Duolingo or whatever. So that can be done as a bit of forward planning. And then we have the weekly ones, 52 weeks. I've only numbered them as week 1, 2, 3, etc., etc. So again, it's up to you to write the right date in there. 2 pages. The first page is blank and it's just got there, I can't read upside down, back to front, daily activities. Okay. That's where you can write in what actually you have done. So if you've done something every day, there should be quite a bit of writing in there. If you've only done 5 minutes on a Wednesday evening, then it will be pretty empty. But that's entirely up to you. On the second page, there are sort of 3 bits of spaces, 2 big ones and 1 little. One says, I need more practice with. So that's
yeah, I need more practice with.
Yeah. That's once you've done your week's work and you've found out that whatever it was, you were still a bit struggling with. So you're aware of it, or quite often being aware of it is actually the best step already moving on to the next bit. If you know you still need to, you're still not quite sure when to use nach and zu, for example. Yeah, you just by being aware of it, it means next time you come across it, you're paying a bit more attention, thinking a bit again. Now, what was it again? Oh, nach. Now that was with countries and towns. But I enjoyed. Did you do something really exciting? Now, that could be that you watched an absolutely fantastic video and you really enjoyed it, or you maybe even enjoyed it because you actually understood all of it. So something like that. Or maybe you finally grasped a grammar concept that you've been struggling with for the last few weeks or sometimes even months, I don't know, and you had your light bulb moment. That's the sort of thing to write in there. And at the bottom, we've got plans for next week. You may, it's not too much space there, but that's just sort of a thinking ahead again. Yeah, I still didn't quite understand this bit of grammar. I need to see if I can find some more exercises to practice this. Or even, actually, I'm going to take a break from this grammar bit now. It's doing my head in. I'll do something else next week. I want to do something that I enjoy in German. Okay. 2 extra little things at the bottom of the second page on each week. There is a German idiom with the English translation. That can just be for you for fun to read. If you're reading it. Oh, Schwein haben. Sorry, you want an example?
Yes, please.
I've just got one here. Schwein haben literally means to have pig. That doesn't make much sense, does it? No. It's actually to have a stroke of luck.
Ah, right, okay.
Good. So if this video this time runs smoothly without any problems, we can say at the end, wir haben Schwein gehabt, because it worked.
Right. Okay.
So the idea for that is it's just something to learn, something just to read and enjoy. If you feel like it, you could challenge yourself and see if you can incorporate that idiom in the following week. So maybe surprise your German teacher or put it in an email or whatever, depending on what you do. And I've got one more thing, which I haven't mentioned before.
Okay.
And that's at the beginning of the first page. No, you can't see it.
Just about early.
Just about. There is a tiny little flower there.
Okay.
I put that in several reasons. One is just to break it up a bit. Otherwise, it's all text.
Yeah.
But this flower has got 6 petals. And they're there for a reason. Not everybody does, but there are a lot of people who like colouring in. So the idea is that every day you've done a little bit of German, you can colour in one of the petals. And the one in the middle is for Sunday. You can either have the day off, or you can colour that one in as well. Or somebody suggested last week, you can always put a smiley face in there if I have done as much work as I wanted to do. So whatever you want to do, it's just a little extra bit of incentive. If you've only coloured in one petal, you think, I think I need to do a little bit more German, to colour in a few more. But again, it's entirely up to you, because when you buy this book, it's your planner. Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, it is an aid to learning, and it's there all the year. You can look back at previous weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And check your progress.
Yes, so if you've written in the beginning a lot of I need more practice with, I'll just say an example now, accusative prepositions, and then the next week I need more practice with accusative prepositions, and then at some stage you write, but I enjoyed finding all these accusative prepositions and understanding them.
Yeah.
Now that's brilliant to look back to then later on.
And just to share the screen for a moment, if I can find it. Yeah, I'm going to share the screen, and I'm just going to go to the screen. Just give me a second.
Oh, the group.
Well, first of all, the book, yeah, is available on Amazon. Yes.
Yes, it is, and that's any Amazon. So if you search for it wherever you are, you should find it. As far as I know, it's on every Amazon.
All right. And delivery is virtually within 2 days, isn't it? So
a couple of days. I mean, it depends really. I've ordered some books. One came really quickly. The other ones I had to wait a few days. So it varies.
Okay, and it's a great gift for Christmas, we're saying.
Absolutely.
Well, in fact, any year round, any year, any time, but especially for Christmas. Right, now, the second thing I did want to talk about was your German learning group, and if you'd like to talk a moment or two about that.
Well, this is also called Ask Angelika. I wonder why. And the idea is because I do have so many online students, and although the opportunity is there to ask tutors, it's always a bit tricky to ask a question that has got nothing to do with your course. So if you bought one of my courses, say you bought the present tense course, but you actually have a question which has got nothing to do with present tense, it makes more sense to post it in a general learning German group. So this group, this Facebook group I've started so that anybody who is interested in learning German can join, even if you're not a student of mine, even if you've never bought a course of mine or a book of mine, it doesn't matter. If you are interested in learning German and you may have a question yourself or just like to see what other people have as a questions, then please do come and join the group. I like it that sometimes people ask a question before I've even seen it and somebody else is already answering it. So it's not just Ask Angelika, it's actually ask everybody in the group. So anybody is welcome to join. Right,
and just search for Ask Angelika on Facebook and you'll find the group.
Exactly.
Apply to join and you'll be welcome. Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
It's as easy as that. Right, do we have any other points we want to cover today?
No, I don't know. Do we have our carol singing before the next one or after? I'm just checking in the diary now.
Oh
yes, before this is the last one before the carol
all
singing.
right, okay. Mention the carol singing then.
So the carol singing itself, of course, is only useful to those people who live in Wiltshire or pretty close to Southwick. But every year, actually, I choose a local charity, or most of the time it's a local charity, which I try to support during the year with about 3 activities or 3 events. Usually we seem to have turned into an annual skittle event where we just we play skittles and we count in German. It's not really that much more to do in German there, and we have a great time. And then we have a board game evening where we play a variety of German board games, and then in December we have our, now annually, this must be about the 5th or 6th time,
Indeed,
German carol singing. And again, so the event is free. But we are collecting money. We would like to ask for a donation. This year it's for the Wiltshire Air Ambulance. And there will be some coffee, tea. Usually people go upstairs to the bar as well if they wanted something a bit stronger. There is a bar. And I normally supply some German Christmas sweets, biscuits and that as well. We don't have a booklet. I have found a booklet online with the majority of the carols in there are German. Some of the text is a little bit old-fashioned on some of the songs, but because of that, it means actually that all the songs there are copyright free, and it's the only carol booklet I have found online that you can download legally. Actually, they're encouraging you to download it as well. And for that, I don't mind having the odd 1 or 2 lines where the texts have changed in the meantime to make it a bit more up to date. But so that's a great booklet. Maybe we can put the link underneath the video later on.
I'm sure that's a good idea. So, I mean, it's a great social occasion. People get together and have a sing and some mime, but most of the people have a go. And it's great fun. Absolutely.
And we're doing something for the Wiltshire Air Ambulance as well, which is just as good.
It is. So it's win-win, really.
Yeah. So if anybody is in Wiltshire, or I guess if they're close enough to Wiltshire, if they're in Somerset, they may want to come as well. And there is no border, so you don't need a passport. We're having our carol service on Wednesday, the 14th of December, from 7 to 9 p.m. at Southwick Village Hall, which is just between Trowbridge and Frome.
Right. So Southwick Village Hall, 14th December, 7 p.m. And we look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, if you're close enough, that would be great.
Indeed. Right. Okay. Well, do you want to say goodbye to everybody who's watching the video? I'll replay.
Okay. Well, then if that's goodbye from me, or shall I say tschüss von mir?
And tschüss von mir. Und tschüss von mir. I'll get it right sometime. Okay. We'll see. Can you just say we'll see you in 2 weeks?
Yeah, we still have one more in 2 weeks. Tschüss bis in 2 Wochen.
Tschüss bis in 2 Wochen. Das ist alles.